Erik Ten Hag frustrated by stupid crossing to Cristiano Ronaldo. Erik Ten Hag pissed off by a way of means of silly crossing to Cristiano Ronaldo. Erik Ten Hag defined Manchester United's overall performance of their 3-1 defeat to Aston Villa as now no longer acceptable and wondered the techniques, choices and mindset of his gamers on an afternoon that Cristiano Ronaldo captained the crew for the primary time beneath him. Erik Ten Hag, known as Manchester United's tactic of crossing from deep for Cristiano Ronaldo silly, as he changed into left pissed off by a way of means of his gamers failing to comply with the guidelines of their 3-1 defeat to Aston Villa on Sunday. Asked if he had recommended his gamers to search for the pinnacle of the 37-year antique ahead to assist convey him into the sport, Ten Hag replied, "No, I suppose it changed into silly to do that." We introduced 2 quick crosses in from 2 aways and 2 forcing. Then, we do not assist him. We ought to convey width inside the crosses on the proper second. I suppose width inside the 2D1 half of. Additionally, we conveyed 2 quick the crosses in. The proper second changed into from Christian Eriksen width inside the first 1/2 of, and he observed the instant width inside the pocket to supply the ball to Cristiano on the away's post. That changed into the proper second. Long earlier than that, United had conceded twice, surrendering the initiative to Unai Emery's aspect width inside the Spaniards' first sport in charge. Bruno Fernandes changed into badly overlooked. However, Ten Hag did now no longer regard that as an excuse for his aspect's lackluster overall performance. Bruno Fernandes is a vital participant, however I do not have that feeling. It is set the gamers who are now at the pitch to win this sport. If they do their process 100 in keeping with scent, with ardor and desire, following the guidelines and the ideas of football, then we win this sport. When you lose the sport on the begin of the primary 1/2 of and the begin of the second 1/2 of, while you begin video games like this, you get beat. Even Lucas Digny's beautiful free kick changed into now no longer precise sufficient for Ten Hag to guard his gamers. I suppose the free kick is stoppable due to the fact the ball is just 2 aways away from the wall. Okay, it's miles a small element, however information make a distinction in pinnacle football. It tells everything about us. I suppose that changed into certainly considered one among our pleasant standards. We are surely the front foot, we're surely prepared to play in all of the video games up till now. And nowadays we have been now no longer. From the begin, we failed to comply with the guidelines in protecting and we lose our battles. Then we rating the intention, so are again in the sport, and we have been hopeful at 1/2 of time that we will flip this around. Everyone went out with that feeling and that mindset, however, we gave the sport away similar to the primary 1/2 of on the begin of the second 1/2 of. It changed into aways from Ten Hag's first preference lineup with Donny van de Beek making his first Premier League begin of the season. It is constantly hard while you are gambling with 10 others. I suppose it's miles together that we delivered a horrific overall performance. Meanwhile, Marcus Rashford did not construct on his latest precise shape, having been shifted to the proper wing with inside the absence of Antony. Ten Hag mentioned that it isn't his pleasant role. Yes, he can play there. If you study his stats, he ratings throughout all of the front positions nearly equally. But for me, the pleasant function for Rashford is no 9 while popping out from the left. But in the front line we've got our trouble, so for this sport it changed into the pleasant balance. Ronaldo changed into the striker and the captain, carrying the armband for the primary time beneath the Dutchman. 11, though his supervisor defined he changed into aways from the primary preference for that honor. Harry Maguire is at the bench, our captain Bruno isn't available, then it's miles approximately David De Gea. He is a front runner, however the goalkeeper is a ways far from the outfield. Casemiro is the chief, however Casemiro isn't talking 100 in keeping with St. Best English. So Cristiano is a front runner. In particular, he's the chief of the crew, so he's the man, it's miles clear. The defeat ends a 9-sport unbeaten run for United in all competitions, the primary setback for the reason that derby defeat in early October. I am disillusioned, however I realize the procedure will now no longer pass all of the manner up. Setbacks will come and we ought to address that, brought Ten Hag. I am already a long-term in football. Human beings aren't robots. Sometimes it's miles the man or it's miles. It is mental, however it isn't acceptable, do not get me wrong. We ought to be prepared each sport and now no longer provide the sport so without difficulty away.